The first time Olivia saw the alien, she thought it was going to kill her. The creature stood nearly 7 feet tall with scaled purple skin that shimmered under the harsh lights of the cargo bay. Its 4 eyes tracked her every movement, while a long prehensile tail swished behind it. The alien had narrow shoulders but powerful-looking arms and legs with 3 digits on each hand and foot. Olivia raised her hands, slowly showing she was unarmed. The alien hissed, revealing rows of sharp teeth that gleamed white against its purple skin. Its chest expanded as it took in a deep breath, perhaps smelling her. This was not how she expected her first alien encounter to go. Captain Olivia Mason of the Starship Horizon had been making routine checks when she discovered the stowaway hiding among the supply crates. They were 3 weeks into their journey from Earth to the mining colony on Proxima B, and her crew of 12 was asleep. She was alone with a potentially hostile alien. The creature spoke a series of clicks and whistles that her translator couldn't decipher. Olivia tried anyway, hoping the translation matrix would begin to recognize patterns. "My name is Olivia Mason. I am the captain of this vessel. You are on my ship. I will not harm you." The alien tilted its head, listening. Then it crouched lower, its tail wrapping around its legs in what Olivia interpreted as a defensive posture. The 4 eyes blinked independently of each other, which Olivia found unsettling. "Are you hungry?" Olivia asked, reaching slowly into her pocket and pulling out an emergency ration bar. She unwrapped it and took a small bite, then offered the rest to the alien, hoping that food might be a universal peace offering. The creature sniffed the air, then inched forward. Its movements were graceful despite its size. It snatched the bar with long, slender fingers and retreated back to the shadows. It sniffed the food before taking a tentative bite. Its expression changed immediately from suspicion to what Olivia could only describe as delight. The alien's eyes widened and a soft, trilling sound emerged from its throat. Food seemed to be a universal language after all. Olivia took a careful step back, giving the alien space. She needed to think about what to do next. Protocol required her to notify Earth Command about first contact and secure the alien in the ship's containment unit until proper authorities could take over. But something about the creature's body language and behavior suggested it wasn't a threat. It seemed frightened. "You can stay here for now," Olivia said, pointing to the cargo bay. "I will come back with more food." She mimed eating and then pointed to the door and back to herself. The alien watched her intently, seeming to understand the basic communication. When Olivia returned to the bridge, she checked the ship's logs and security footage the alien had boarded 3 days ago when they docked at the orbital station around Mars. The creature had slipped aboard during a cargo transfer, hiding itself among the supply crates. It had been surviving on minimal rations, likely scavenged during the night when the crew was asleep. Olivia faced a difficult decision. She could follow protocol, wake her first officer Lisa, and security chief Paul, and contain the alien. Or she could try to establish communication first, understand why it was on her ship. She decided on the latter approach. Over the next 3 days, Olivia visited the cargo bay, bringing different foods and simple games she didn't tell the crew, yet wanting to avoid any panic or hasty actions. The alien remained wary but curious. It seemed to enjoy fruits and vegetables more than protein bars. It also showed remarkable intelligence, quickly learning the rules of chess, though it seemed confused by the limited movement patterns of the pieces. During these visits, Olivia learned that the alien was female. There were subtle markers in behavior and the way it responded to Olivia's feminine pronouns when talking about herself. The alien also began mimicking some of Olivia's gestures and even attempted to copy some simple words. Though its mouth wasn't shaped for human speech, Olivia nicknamed her Violet because of her stunning purple scales that changed slightly in color depending on the lighting. When Olivia first used the name, the alien perked up as if pleased by the designation. On the 5th day, Violet allowed Olivia to sit beside her. They communicated through gestures and drawings on a tablet. Olivia learned that Violet species, the Kastari, were being hunted by another alien race called the Drek. Violet had escaped by hiding on a trading vessel that had later docked with the station around Mars. She had been on the run for months. The crude drawings showed the Drek as large armored beings with weapons that destroyed entire Kastari settlements. Violet drew herself hiding, watching as others of her kind were captured or killed. The pain in her 4 eyes was unmistakable, even across the species barrier. "You can stay here," Olivia said. Even though she knew Violet couldn't fully understand her words, "I will keep you safe." That night, when Olivia returned to her quarters after her shift, she found Violet curled up on the floor beside her bed. The alien had somehow bypassed the security locks and followed her. The gesture was clear. Violet had decided to trust her completely. Olivia knew she could no longer keep Violet a secret from her crew. The alien had shown no signs of aggression, but the crew deserved to know. It was time to introduce them to their unexpected passenger and decide together what to do next. As Olivia prepared to sleep, she noticed Violet watching the stars through the small viewport in her quarters. The alien's posture conveyed a deep sadness. Olivia wondered how many of Violet's kind remained and if she would ever see them again. The weight of that responsibility settled on Olivia's shoulders. This wasn't just about harboring a stowaway. Anymore, it was about potentially saving a life and maybe even helping a species survive. The next morning, Olivia called a meeting with her senior officers. First Officer Lisa Kelly and Security Chief Paul Turner were the first to arrive, followed by Ship Dr. Elaine Woods and Chief Engineer Sofia Rodriguez. When all 4 were seated, Olivia took a deep breath. "We have a guest on board," she said carefully. "I discovered her 5 days ago in Cargo Bay 3. She is not human." The officers stared at her in shock. "What do you mean, not human?" Paul asked, his hand instinctively moving to the stunner at his hip. "I mean, she is an alien." Olivia replied. "She calls herself a Kastari. Her name is Violet. Or at least that's what I call her. Are you serious?" Lisa asked, leaning forward. "You found an actual alien on our ship and didn't report it for 5 days, Olivia nodded. "I wanted to establish communication first. Understand her intentions. She isn't hostile. She's a refugee doctor." Woods was the first to recover from the shock. "Where is she now? In my quarters?" Olivia said she feels safe there. "I need to see her," Paul said, standing up. This could be a security risk. They all went to Olivia's quarters. Violet was still there, curled in the corner, her tail wrapped around her body. When the door opened, she stood quickly, her 4 eyes darting between the unfamiliar faces. Her scales darkened slightly, which Olivia had come to recognize as a sign of fear. "It's okay," Olivia said, moving to stand between Violet and the others. "These are my crew, my friends. They won't hurt you." Violet relaxed slightly, but remained alert. Her tail swished nervously behind her. The officers' reactions were mixed. Lisa stared with open curiosity. Dr. Woods immediately began muttering about xenobiology and scanning requirements. Sophia seemed fascinated by Violet's physical structure. Paul kept his hand near his weapon but didn't draw it. Friend Violet said the word, coming out rough but recognizable. She pointed at Olivia. "Friend," Dr. Woods gasped. "She speaks." "A little." Olivia explained she's learning quickly. The translator is starting to recognize patterns in her language too. "We can communicate through a mix of words, gestures, and drawings. Can I examine her?" Dr. Woods asked, her eyes gleaming with scientific interest. "Only if she agrees," Olivia said, turning to Violet. "This is Elaine. She is a Dr. A healer. She would like to look at you to help." She mimed examination and healing. Violet considered this, then nodded slowly. She seemed to understand the concept of medical care. Over the next few hours, each officer spent time with Violet. Dr. Woods performed basic scans and was thrilled to discover Violet's biology was based on the same carbon chemistry as humans, though with significant differences. She had 3 hearts, a different respiratory system, and a brain structure, unlike anything in Earth's evolutionary history. Sophia was impressed by Violet's understanding of technology. The alien seemed to grasp engineering concepts quickly, even improving on one of Sophia's designs for a coolant system with a simple adjustment. Paul remained suspicious, but even he had to admit that Violet showed no signs of aggression. When he demonstrated the ship's security systems, she quickly understood their purpose and even pointed out a weakness in the sensor array. By evening, the senior officers had reached a consensus. Violet would remain aboard as a guest under Olivia's supervision. They would not report to Earth Command yet. Not until they understood more about the Kaztari and the threat posed by the Drek. That night, Olivia helped Violet create a more comfortable sleeping area in her quarters. The alien preferred to sleep curled up in a tight ball, her tail wrapped around her body like a cat. She needed less sleep than humans, only about 4 hours per night. Violet was a quick learner. By the end of the first week, with access to language programs and constant interaction with the crew, she could form simple sentences. Her first complete statement to Olivia was, "Thank you for helping me." As days passed, Violet began to help. Around the ship, her strength was greater than a human's, and her 4 eyes could spot details others missed. She proved particularly useful in engineering, where her knowledge of alien technology helped Sophia make several improvements to the ship's systems. The crew gradually accepted her presence. Some were fascinated, some wary, but none openly hostile. Violet tried to make herself useful, always offering to help with tasks, eating alone, when the crew seemed uncomfortable in learning human customs, to better fit in. 2 weeks after Violet's discovery, the Horizon picked up a distress signal from a small research vessel. The message was garbled but mentioned an attack. Olivia ordered a course change to investigate. When they reached the coordinates, they found the research ship badly damaged. Scans showed 3 survivors and significant weapons damage. Olivia led a rescue team, including Dr. Woods and 2 security officers. They boarded the damaged vessel, finding 2 injured human researchers, who explained their ship had been attacked by aliens. The aliens had demanded information about Kaztari refugees, then opened fire when the researchers claimed ignorance. The 3rd survivor was hiding in a storage locker. Olivia opened it to find a small Kaztari child, its scales a lighter purple than Violet's, its 4 eyes wide with terror. Olivia spoke softly, using the few Kaztari words she had learned from Violet. The child trembled, but allowed her to pick it up. Its body was light, despite its size no heavier than a human child back on the horizon. Violet dropped a tool she was holding when she saw the child. She made a high-pitched, trilling sound that the translator couldn't interpret. The child responded with a similar noise and leapt from Olivia's arms, running to Violet. They embraced, their tails intertwining. The child was named Mira. Violet explained later, Mira was the daughter of Violet's nestmate, a concept similar to sister in human terms. The child had been separated from her family during a Drek attack on their settlement. Violet had believed all her family dead. That night, Olivia found Violet and Mira curled together in sleep on the cushioned area near her viewport. Violet's tail wrapped protectively around the child. For the first time since Olivia had met her, Violet seemed truly at peace. The following day, Olivia called another meeting with her senior officers. The attack on the research vessel meant the Drek were in this sector, looking for Kaztari refugees. The Horizon and its crew were now involved, whether they wanted to be or not. "We need to understand why the Drek are hunting the Kaztari," Olivia said. "We need more information." Lisa suggested contacting other human ships in the sector, sharing information about the attack on the research vessel. Paul recommended improving the ship's defenses in case of a Drek encounter. Dr. Woods wanted to learn more about Kaztari biology in case of injuries, and Sophia proposed modifying the engines for better speed and maneuverability. Olivia agreed with all their suggestions, but knew they needed something more. They needed to understand the conflict between these alien species, and only Violet could provide that information. That evening, Olivia sat with Violet while Mira slept nearby. "I need to know about the Drek," she said. "Why are they hunting your people? What do they want?" Violet's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture Olivia had learned expressed sadness or reluctance. "They want this," Violet said. She unfurled a small pouch hidden in the scales of her abdomen and removed a glowing crystal. The light pulsed softly, casting rainbow patterns across the walls. "What is it?" Olivia asked, leaning closer. "Kaztari soulstone." Violet explained. "Our knowledge. Our history. When Drek attack, we scatter with stones so our culture lives even if we die. Each stone carries different knowledge. Mine has star maps, trade routes, scientific knowledge." Olivia understood then. Violet wasn't just a refugee. She was a keeper of her people's heritage. She carried their collective wisdom. And the Drek wanted that knowledge for themselves. The implications were staggering. If the Drek captured all the soul stones, they could effectively erase Kaztari culture from existence, and if they wanted Violet Stone specifically with its star maps and trade routes, they could be planning expansion using Kaztari knowledge to navigate unknown regions of space regions where human colonies were being established. That night, as Olivia prepared for sleep, she watched Violet and Mira curled together. The decision she faced was no longer just about helping refugees. It was potentially about protecting humanity as well. The horizon was 2 days from Starbase 7 when they detected the ship. It appeared suddenly on their sensors, emerging from what Violet called shadow space, a form of stealth technology unknown to humans' Drek ship. Violet said, her scales darkening with fear as she looked at the sensor display. Her tail wrapped around Mira, who had been playing nearby, pulling the child close to her side. They find us. The alien vessel was massive, 3 times the size of the horizon. Its design was angular and predatory, with forward sections that resembled claws. The hull was dark, absorbing light rather than reflecting it, making it difficult to track visually. Paul activated defense protocols, bringing shields online and preparing weapon systems. Sophia diverted power to engines ready for evasive maneuvers. Lisa took her position at communications, prepared to send distress calls. They coming for Soulstone. Violet said, her voice trembling. They sense it. Kaztari technology called to them. Can we outrun them? Olivia asked, looking at Sophia. The engineer shook her head. Not with our current configuration. Their ship is built for pursuit. The Drek vessel changed course, moving to intercept them. A communication request flashed on the main screen. Should I answer it? Lisa asked. Olivia nodded. We need to know what we're dealing with. The screen flickered, then displayed the interior of the Drek ship. The alien that appeared was nothing like Violet. It was bulky with gray-plated skin resembling armor. Its head was wide with small eyes set deep in a heavy brow. Breathing tubes extended from its jaw, connecting to a collar around its thick neck. Human vessel, the Drek commander said, its voice deep and grating. The translator handled its language surprisingly. Well, you carry Kaztari fugitives, surrender them and the artifacts they possess. We will allow you to continue your journey, unharmed. Olivia stood tall, facing the screen. This is Captain Olivia Mason of the Earth vessel Horizon. We have passengers aboard who are under our protection. We will not surrender them. The Drek commander made a sound that might have been laughter. The breathing tubes on its face pulsed unnervingly. You protect what you do not understand. The Kaztari are thieves. They steal knowledge that does not belong to them. Their soul stones contain secrets taken from many worlds, including Drek worlds. They are not innocent refugees. Olivia glanced at Violet, who was clutching Mira tightly. Her scales had paled to a light, lavender, a sign of extreme fear. But there was something else in her 4 eyes, shame. Perhaps the Drek was not lying, at least not entirely. Is this true? Olivia asked Violet quietly. Did your people take knowledge from the Drek, not steal? Violet said, her voice barely audible. Learn, we learn. We remember, we preserve. The Drek destroy knowledge they cannot use. They burn libraries, break monuments, erase histories of worlds they conquer. We save what we can. The Drek commander grew impatient. You have 1 hour to surrender the Kaztari and their artifacts. After that, we will take them by force. The screen went dark. Olivia called an emergency meeting in the conference room. Violet sat with them, still holding Mira close. We need the truth, Olivia said, looking directly at Violet. All of it. Violet was silent for a moment, her tail swishing nervously behind her. Then she began to speak, her English still imperfect but clear enough. Kaztari are memory keepers. She explained. We travel to many worlds. We learn, we record in soul stones. Each Kaztari carries different knowledge. Mine has star map science, knowledge from many worlds including Earth. That got everyone's attention. You have been to Earth? Lisa asked. Not me. Violet said. Others before humans reach stars. My nestmate's keeper carried human knowledge. Art, music, stories from ancient times. We believe all knowledge sacred, all history worth preserving. And the Drek. Paul asked. Drek are warriors, she said. They conquer. They use knowledge as weapon. They find Kaztari settlement 50 cycles ago. Take soul stones. Force them to reveal weapons technology from ancient worlds. Now they hunt all Kaztari, want all stones, want all knowledge. And what would they do with that knowledge? Olivia asked Violet, looked at her with all four eyes. They use it to conquer more worlds. They already attack 12 systems. Take resources, slaves. They want to expand their world, dying from industrial damage. They need new homes. They see Earth reports from human broadcasts. They know humans have good planets. The implication was clear. The Drek wanted Violet's soulstone because it contained navigational data that could lead them to Earth and its colonies. We have less than an hour to decide what to do. Olivia said, "What are our options?" Paul outlined their defensive capabilities. The Horizon's weapons were designed for asteroid deflection and minor threats, not military engagement with a superior force. Their shields could withstand some damage, but not a sustained attack. Sophia suggested modifications to the engines that might give them a short burst of speed enough to reach Starbase 7, where they would have additional protection. The modification would require using parts from non-essential systems and would take at least 2 hours to complete. Lisa reported that she had sent encrypted messages to other human vessels in the sector, but the closest ship was at least 3 days away. "We cannot fight," Violet said suddenly. "We cannot run." She stood still holding. "Mira, I go to them." "I give self not stone, that is not an option," Olivia said firmly. Violet held out the soul stone to Olivia. "Take, keep safe, find other Kaztari. Give to them, they protect knowledge better than me." She then pulled out a small device from another hidden pouch. "This destroy stone, if Drek take me I use it. Better knowledge lost than used to hurt others." Olivia looked at the stone and the destruction device, then back at Violet. She saw the determination in the alien's posture. Despite her fear, Violet was willing to sacrifice herself to protect both her people's knowledge and the humans who had sheltered her. But Olivia had another idea. "What if we copy the information?" she asked. "Could we transfer the data from your soul stone to our computers?" Violet blinked her four eyes in sequence. "Transfer is possible," she said, "but your computer's not designed for Kaztari data. Stone is quantum crystal." "Very complex?" Sophia leaned forward eagerly. "I could modify our systems," she said. "It's not a perfect solution, but if we could copy even part of the data, the stone could be destroyed without losing everything. And if the Drek don't see the stone, they might believe we don't have it." Olivia added, "They work quickly." Sophia, connecting the soul stone to the ship's computers through a series of modified interfaces. Dr. Woods monitoring Violet's vital signs as the connection seemed to cause her physical discomfort. Paul preparing defensive strategies and evacuation routes in case they failed. Lisa, continuing to send encrypted messages to human outposts. The Drek commander contacted them again when the hour was almost up. "Your time is ending," it said. "Prepare to be boarded. We're experiencing a technical issue with our airlock systems," Olivia replied, stalling for time. "We need another 30 minutes to make them compatible with your boarding craft." The Drek seemed suspicious but agreed. The translation program suggested it was confident in its superior position and saw no harm in a brief delay. 28 minutes later, Sophia reported success. "We've copied approximately 60% of the data," she said. "It's not everything, but it's the most critical information. Star maps, trade routes, scientific data." Violet looked exhausted. The connection process had drained her energy, but she seemed satisfied. Her scales had returned to their normal purple hue. The fear was still there, but now mixed with resolution. Sophia returned the soul stone to Violet, who immediately secured it. In her abdominal pouch, she held the destruction device ready. "Now we need a plan to survive the next few hours," Olivia said. Paul suggested using the ship's emergency escape pods as decoys, launching them in different directions to confuse the Drek. Sensors. The pods would appear to contain life signs thanks to a modification Sophia had made. Lisa had prepared a distress message that would broadcast on all frequencies if they gave the command. Not just a standard SOS, but detailed information about the Drek threat and Kaztari refugees. Dr. Woods had prepared the medical bay for potential casualties, and created a secure hidden area where Violet and Mira could hide if the Drek managed to board as the new deadline approached. They took their positions. Violet and Mira were secured in the hidden compartment in the medical bay, with emergency supplies and communications. The Soul Stone was with them, the destruction device ready if needed. The Drek ship loomed outside their viewports, its weapon systems powered up, visible even to the naked eye. Olivia felt the weight of command pressing down on her. The lives of her crew, Violet, Mira, and potentially countless others if the Drek gained access to Earth coordinates, depended on her next decisions. She took a deep breath and opened a channel to the Drek vessel. "This is Captain Olivia Mason of the Horizon," Olivia said, keeping her voice steady. "We have no quarrel with your people. We are a research vessel en route to one of our outposts. We ask that you allow us to continue our journey." The Drek commander appeared on screen, its breathing tubes pulsing rapidly. "You harbor fugitives, Captain Mason. Our sensors detect Kaztari life signs aboard your vessel. Surrender them now." Olivia had prepared for this. "We rescued survivors from an attacked research vessel," she said. That vessel had been studying deep space phenomena, not interfering with any civilizations. "The survivors are under our protection according to human protocols." The Drek commander slammed an armored fist against something off-screen. "The Kaztari possess stolen knowledge," it growled. "Knowledge that belongs to the Drek and other worlds they have plundered. They are not innocent. Your protection is misplaced. What would you do with them if we surrendered them?" Olivia asked, though she had no intention of doing so. "They would serve the Drek Empire," the commander said. "Their knowledge would be extracted and used to expand our territory. Their bodies would serve in our labor colonies." Olivia nodded, as if considering this. "I need to consult with my superiors," she said. "We are not authorized to make first contact decisions without approval." The Drek commander growled. "You attempt to delay. We will take what is ours." The communication cut off. On the tactical display, the Drek ship moved closer. Its weapon systems fully powered up. "Launch the decoys," Olivia ordered. The emergency pods shot away from the horizon in different directions, each programmed to emit life signs and transmit false communications. The Drek ship hesitated, its sensors tracking the sudden appearance of multiple targets. "Now, Sophia," Olivia said. The engineer activated the modified engines. The horizon lurched forward, accelerating much faster than its specifications should have allowed. The sudden burst of speed took them past the Drek vessel before it could react, but the advantage was temporary. The alien ship turned in pursuit, its superior engines quickly closing the distance were not going to outrun them. Paul reported. Olivia had expected this. They needed something else. "Lisa, send the distress message maximum power." The communication officer activated the prepared message, broadcasting information about the Drek threat, their interest in the Kaztari, and the coordinates of the horizon. The Drek ship fired a warning shot. The energy beam passed close to the horizon's port side, causing the shields to flare. "Their next shot will disable our engines." Paul warned. Olivia gripped the arms of her command chair. "We need more time," she muttered, as if in answer to her words, the ship's sensors detected a new energy signature. Something was emerging from faster than light travel. Nearby, a ship appeared between the horizon and the pursuing Drek vessel. It was smaller than the Drek ship, but larger than the horizon. Its design was unfamiliar, with smooth curved lines and a hull that seemed to shimmer with iridescent colors. The unknown ship broadcast a message on all frequencies. The translator struggled with the language but managed to decode. "Enough. This is Captain Nara of the Vesh Protectorate Vessel Guardian. We received your distress call, Horizon. You are now under our protection. Drek vessel, withdraw from this sector." The Drek commander responded with fury. "We claim the right of pursuit. The Kaztari are criminals under Drek law." The Vesh captain replied. "Our records show no such recognized claim. The Kaztari are listed as an endangered species under Galactic Preservation Protocols, Section 47. They have requested asylum with the Protectorate." Olivia and her crew watched in amazement as the exchange continued. They had no idea who the Vesh were, or how they had received their distress call so quickly. The tactical display showed the Drek ship powering up additional weapon systems. The Vesh vessel responded by activating some kind of energy field that extended toward the horizon. enveloping the human ship. The Drek fired. The energy beams hit the field and dissipated harmlessly. The Vesh captain spoke again. "This is your final warning, Drek. Vessel withdraw or face sanctions." For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then the Drek ship turned slowly and moved away. Though its weapons remained powered up, when it had retreated to a safer distance, the Vesh captain contacted the horizon directly. "Captain Mason, I apologize for the intrusion, but your distress message indicated an emergency involving Kaztari refugees. We have been searching for survivors of their species." Olivia was cautious. "Who exactly are the Vesh?" she asked. "And how did you receive our message so quickly?" The image on screen shifted, showing a humanoid figure with pale blue skin and silver markings around its eyes. "The Vesh are members of the Galactic Protectorate, an alliance of 17 spacefaring species, Captain," Nara explained. "We patrol this sector monitoring for Drek incursions. They have violated territorial agreements multiple times in recent cycles. As for your message," the captain continued, "one of our scout ships detected it and relayed it to us. We're already in the area investigating reports of Drek activity." Olivia considered this information. "Should we trust them?" she asked her senior officers, keeping the communication muted. Lisa checked the ship's database. The Protectorate is mentioned. In some of the academic literature about theoretical alien civilizations, she said, "Some scientists have speculated that if multiple alien species exist, they might form cooperative alliances." Dr. Woods, who had returned to the bridge from the medical bay, added, "The Kaztari never mentioned them, but Violet did say her people traveled widely. Perhaps they know of this Protectorate." Paul remained suspicious. "They appeared very conveniently," he pointed out, "and they seem to have technology far beyond ours. They could be an even greater threat than the Drek." Olivia made her decision. She unmuted the communication. "Captain Nara, we appreciate your assistance. We have 2 Kaztari aboard our vessel. They are indeed refugees. May we speak with them?" The Vesh captain asked. Olivia sent a message to Dr. Woods asking her to bring Violet to the bridge if she was willing to come. A few minutes later, Violet appeared, still looking tired from the data transfer process, but her scales had brightened it. The news of potential allies, Mira followed close behind her. When Violet saw the Vesh captain on screen, she made a gesture with her tail and hands that the translator didn't catch. Captain Nara responded with a similar motion. "You know the Vesh?" Olivia asked Violet. "Yes." Violet said, "They old allies of Kaztari. Many cycles we trade knowledge. They help hide our people from Drek." Captain Nara spoke directly to Violet in the Kaztari language. The translator struggled, but converted enough for the humans to understand. "We have located 16 other soulstone carriers. They are safe at Protectorate sanctuary worlds. We can take you there, if you wish." Violet looked at Olivia, her 4 eyes blinking in a pattern that conveyed both hope and uncertainty. "Decision is yours," Olivia said. "You and Mira are welcome to stay with us if you prefer. We will do our best to protect you. But if more of your people are with the Protectorate..." Violet was silent for a moment, her tail swishing thoughtfully. "I stay," she said finally. "Human ship safe too. And I promise help you. I have knowledge useful for humans." She looked at Mira. "What you want?" Little one Mira, who had been quiet throughout most of these events, moved closer to Olivia and wrapped her small tail around the captain's wrist, a gesture that needed no translation. Captain Nara seemed to understand. "I will inform the sanctuary. Your decision is respected. The Protectorate would like to establish formal contact with humans as well. This encounter has accelerated our timetable, but perhaps it is for the best. The Drek expansion threatens all spacefaring species in this sector." And just like that, humanity had made first contact with not 1, but 3 alien civilizations in the span of a few weeks. The Vesh provided an escort to Starbase 7. Their ship traveling alongside the horizon at a respectful distance, Captain Nara shared information about the Protectorate, its member species, and their ongoing efforts to contain Drek expansion. When they reached Starbase 7, Olivia faced a new challenge, explaining everything that had happened to her superiors. The station commander, Admiral Laura Chen, was initially skeptical when Olivia requested a private meeting, but her skepticism quickly turned to shock. When Violet and Mira entered the room, followed by Captain Nara and two other Vesh officers, Admiral Chen recovered quickly, proving why she held her position. The next few hours were filled with introductions, explanations, and the beginnings of diplomatic protocols. The Admiral immediately recognized the significance of these events, and the potential threat posed by the Dreke Secure Communication Channel was established with Earth Command. High-priority messages were sent requiring responses and instructions. While the diplomats and officials began their work, Olivia found a quiet moment with Violet and Mira in an observation lounge overlooking the Starbase docking area. "What will happen now?" Violet asked, her scales shifting through subtle shades of purple as she watched ships coming and going from the station. "I don't know exactly." Olivia admitted Earth will want to establish formal relations with the Protectorate. "Learn more about the Drek threat, study your Soulstone data." She paused. "Are you sure you want to stay with us?" "Your people," Violet made a soft, trilling sound. "Human need Kaztari knowledge to prepare for Drek, I stay help." She gestured to Mira. "Teach little one about humans, good allies." 6 months after the events at Starbase 7, the Horizon was docked at Earth Orbital Station. Alpha Olivia stood at the viewpoint in her quarters, watching the blue planet below. Her ship had been modified extensively during their time on Earth. New engines, improved weapon systems, and enhanced shields had been installed. The crew had nearly doubled, with specialists in various fields joining the mission. The door chimed, and Violet entered. Her appearance had changed somewhat. She now wore a modified human uniform with the Earth Space Service insignia and a special designation marking her as a cultural attaché. Her scales had a healthy, deep purple sheen, and her movements were confident. "Admiral Chen wants to see us." Violet said her English now, fluent though still with a distinct accent that emphasized different syllables than humans would. "The Protectorate representatives have arrived," Olivia nodded, gathering her formal uniform jacket. They had been expecting this meeting for weeks. Earth had spent months preparing for official first contact with the Galactic Protectorate. The initial encounters with the Kaztari and Vesh had been kept classified while governments around the world prepared their populations for the news that humanity was not alone in the universe. "Is Mira ready?" Olivia asked. Violet made a trilling sound of amusement. "She is very excited. She has been practicing her formal greetings all morning. She wants to impress the Vesh ambassador." The young Kaztari had adapted remarkably well to life among humans. She was currently staying with Dr. Woods, who had become something of a foster mother to the child, studying both Kaztari biology and culture while teaching Mira about humans. When they arrived at the conference center, Mira was already there, wearing a smaller version of Violet's uniform. Her scales were a lighter purple with hints of blue that Dr. Woods had discovered was typical of Kaztari children. She was showing Paul how she could now curl her tail into complex shapes, a skill she had been practicing diligently. The conference room filled quickly. Admiral Chen took her position at the head of the table, flanked by representatives from the United Earth government. The Horizon crew had places of honor as the first humans to make contact with the Kaztari and Vesh. The Protectorate delegation arrived, led by Captain Nara, now designated as ambassador. The Vesh were accompanied by representatives from 2 other member species, the Serpentine, Threll, and the crystalline lumen beings Olivia had only read about in the information provided by the Protectorate. The formal introductions and diplomatic protocols took most of the morning. After lunch, the real discussions began. The Protectorate was proposing an alliance with Earth, offering technology, knowledge, and protection in exchange for human assistance in containing Drek expansion. The Drek threat had grown in the months since their first encounter. Reports indicated they had conquered 2 more systems and were pushing deeper into Protectorate space. Their technology continued to advance as they absorbed knowledge from conquered worlds. "You must understand," Ambassador Nara explained, "the Drek see all other species as either threats to be eliminated or resources to be used. They have depleted their homeworld through unchecked industrialization and now seek new territories. Their philosophy permits no compromise, no coexistence." Admiral Chen frowned. "Earth is still new to interstellar relations," she said. "Our technology is primitive compared to yours. What possible assistance could we provide against such a threat, Ambassador?" Nara turned to Violet, who stood and activated a holographic display from her datapad. Humans have unique qualities, she explained, displaying tactical simulations, strategic thinking, adaptation, creativity. Your military history shows remarkable ability to overcome technological disadvantages through innovation. The display shifted, showing human achievements in various fields. More importantly, Violet continued, your culture values diversity of thought. You preserve competing ideas, different philosophies. This makes you unpredictable to the Drek, who think in linear patterns of dominance and submission. The Lumen representative spoke, its crystalline form glittering in the light. We have observed 17 species encounter the Drek. None have your particular combination of traits. The Kastari believe, and we agree, that humans could be key allies. The negotiations continued for days. Details were debated, contingencies planned, cultural exchanges arranged. Earth would receive technology and knowledge to accelerate their development while providing strategic assistance and eventually military support against Drek expansion. Throughout the process, Olivia noticed how often the other species deferred to Violet on matters regarding humans. The Kastari had become the bridge between humanity and the wider galactic community. Her understanding of both cultures proved invaluable. When the formal negotiations concluded with the signing of the Earth Protectorate Alliance Accord, Olivia received new orders. The Horizon would serve as Earth's first diplomatic vessel visiting Protectorate worlds and patrolling the borders of human space. Violet was officially assigned as the ship's cultural attaché, and xenobiological specialist Mira would continue her education on board, becoming the first Kastari to be raised among humans. The night before their departure, Olivia found Violet in the ship's observation lounge looking at the stars, her tail swished slowly, a sign of contemplation. Are you ready for tomorrow? Olivia asked, joining her at the viewport. Violet turned, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence, the gesture Olivia now recognized as indicating deep emotion. I never imagined this, she said. When I hide on your ship, I only hope to survive. Now, she gestured to the Earth below and the stars above. Now we build something new together. Olivia smiled, remembering the frightened alien she'd discovered in her cargo bay. Only 6 months had passed, but it felt like a lifetime ago. So much had changed for all of them. Mira sleeps, Violet said. She dream of stars. She not afraid like I was, her generation. We'll know humans as friends, not strangers. This good legacy, a legacy that started because you decided to trust me, Olivia pointed out. And because I decided to trust you, Violet made a soft trilling sound. I give you nickname too, she said, surprising. Olivia. In Kastari language, Olivia means brave heart who builds bridges. I tell other Kastari this when I describe you. Olivia felt touched by the gesture. That's a good nickname, she said. I can live up to that. They stood in comfortable silence watching. Earth turned slowly below. The planet looked peaceful from orbit, giving no hint of the frantic preparations taking place as humanity readied itself to join the galactic community. The next morning, the Horizon departed with its mixed crew of humans and Kastari. Their mission was to visit 3 protectorate worlds, establishing diplomatic relations and learning more about their potential allies. They would also investigate reports of Drek activity near the edges of human space. As the ship accelerated away from Earth, Olivia took her place in the command chair. Violet stood at the science station, her tail swishing with excitement. Mira watched from a specially designed seat near Dr. Woods, her 4 eyes wide with wonder as they prepared for the jump to faster-than-light travel. Olivia glanced around the bridge at her crew. They had come so far from that first frightened encounter in the cargo bay. Now they were ambassadors for their respective species, pioneers venturing into a wider universe filled with both wonders and dangers. Set course for the Vesh homeworld, Olivia ordered. Let's show them what humans and Kastari can accomplish together. The stars streaked past as the ship accelerated. That night, when Olivia returned to her quarters after her shift, she found Violet and Mira already there. The 2 Kastari had set up a small display showing constellations from their homeworld. Mira was practicing writing in both Kastari and English, her small hands working diligently. With a stylus, Olivia smiled, watching them. This wasn't how she had expected her first alien encounter to go. It was far better than anything she could have imagined. Violet looked up, sensing her presence. The Kaztara's four eyes met Olivia's to a bridge between different worlds. Her tail swished happily, a gesture that needed no translation. Later, as Olivia prepared for sleep, she noticed Violet had moved her sleeping cushion closer to the viewport. The alien lay curled in her customary ball, her tail occasionally twitching as she dreamed Mira had chosen to sleep nearby in a similar position. The nickname had stuck, and now Violet was part of her crew, part of her family. The beginning of something much bigger than either of them had imagined when they first met Morrow. They would reach the first Protectorate world. The crew was both nervous and excited to be the first humans to set foot on an alien planet. Violet had been preparing them, teaching them Vesh customs and taboos, helping them understand what to expect, but for tonight they rested secure in the knowledge that whatever challenges awaited them in the stars, they would face them together. Different species from different worlds, united by curiosity, compassion, and the simple act of trust that had begun when Olivia offered food to a frightened stowaway. As Olivia drifted toward sleep, she heard Violet make a soft, trilling sound. The translator was off, but she didn't need it to understand the sentiment. Good dreams, brave, heart who builds bridges. Olivia smiled in the darkness. Sleep well, Violet, she whispered. And you too, Mira. Sweet dreams of stars. Beyond the viewport, distant suns beckoned, promising new adventures for the unlikely family that had formed aboard the Horizon, a human captain who had offered sanctuary, a Kaztari refugee who had offered